Have you ever wondered how your computer screen responds to your input via keyboard, or how does it performs actions on your commands? Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, we will be talking about computer hardware components and their role in processing your commands to the computer. The hardware components are all the physical parts of a computer, for instance hard drive, RAM, video card, so on. All components are physical, and you can touch. Each component will be briefly explained, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and drop a thumbs up, and let's begin. Computers are the marvel of humankind's remarkable feat to replicate human brains into a machine. It is an amazingly useful general-purpose technology, to the point that now cameras, phones, thermostats, and more are all little computers. They have evolved so much that the first computer was the size of a cupboard, while now in the 21st century it can fit the tip of your finger. But what remains the same is the fact that it needs user or human to respond or run. In this case, human-to-machine interaction was made possible by introducing computer hardware components. But what is a computer? A computer is a programmable electronic device aimed to accept data, perform prescribed mathematical and logical operations at high speed, and display the results of these processes. Desktop, laptop, tablets, and smartphones are several different types of computers. Moving on towards how a computer takes the data from a user, we use computer hardware. Computer hardware refers to the physical part of the computer system, such as monitor, keyboard, mouse, joystick, printer, hard disk, video card, sound card, motherboard, chips, all of which are the physical object that can be touched. They are required to store and run the software. The hardware is the delivery system for the written set of instructions provided by the software. The software lets the user interact with the hardware, commanding it to perform specific tasks. The computer hardware can mainly be divided into two categories: internal and external hardware components. They are built inside the computer. Most of the processing devices such as CPU and motherboard is a type of internal hardware component. External hardware components are also known as peripherals. Peripherals can be divided into three main types. 1. Input devices, such as a mouse or keyboard. 2. Output devices, such as a monitor or printer. 3. External storage devices, such as a hard drive or USB card. Other common external hardware components include microphones, monitors, speakers, headphones, digital cameras, touchpads, stylus pens, joysticks, scanners, and memory cards. All these hardware devices are intended to either provide instructions to the software or provide the results from its execution. Here are some vital hardware components briefly explained. Number 1, keyboard is one of the most commonly used hardware components, which is used to input data and instruction into the computer system directly. Keyboards are the essential part of every computer system to input data. Keyboards contain a set of keys like a typewriter. A keyboard has over 100 keys on it. When we press a key which has a predefined value code in the form of the electrical signal, that is sent to the computer to tell it which key is pressed. The keys of the keyboard are arranged in different groups. Number 2, mouse is another useful component of computer hardware, with 2 or more buttons used to open and close files, navigate the screen, or perform certain actions over the screen. It is a very user-friendly device. When we move the mouse pointer, the little arrow on the screen, moves in the same direction. It controls the motion of the pointer on the screen. A mouse typically has 3 buttons called left, right, and middle button. The old mouse had a rubber or metal ball inside its body. The mouse is rolled over the flat surface called the mouse pad. The optical mouse uses an LED to detect changes in movement by scanning surface. A laser mouse is a type of mouse that uses a laser beam rather than a ball to track the movement of the user's hand. The mouse is a very handy component. But with general PC, we see that the touchpad works as a mouse, and uses relative motion, similar to a computer mouse. Relative motion allows you to move your finger or stylus across the surface, and a cursor will move on the screen accordingly. Number 3, removable drives. Any storage device that can be removed from a computer while the system is running, including USB cards and optical discs, such as compact discs, CDs, Blu-ray discs, and digital versatile discs, DVDs, are removable drives. These drives stores your data in its memory and is portable across any other system or device. They have made a remarkable feat, since it's easier to copy data across the platform or simply store a backup on removable device. Number 4, scanner is an electronic device that scans printed or handwritten text documents, images, or a particular object to convert them into digital file format. We connect the scanner with the computer system. The scanner has 3 types, and these are a handheld scanner, fault-bed scanner, and optical scanner. The scanner which is most commonly used is flatbed scanner, where the document is placed on a glass window for scanning. Number 5. Printers are also a hardware component which is used to produce output on physical media such as paper. The output produced by the printer is called as hard copy or output. There are two categories of printer, one is impact, and the other one is non-impact. The impact printer creates an image by pressing an inked ribbon against the paper, using pins or hammers to shape the image. It works like a typewriter which uses the small hammer to stick the ribbon. The impact printer has further three types such as dot matrix printer, drum printer, chain printer. The non-impact printer prints the characters and graphics on the paper with lasing or with spared ink with the heat and pressure without striking the paper. These are faster, not noisy and high-quality printer but costly as compared to impact printer. The non-impact printer has further two types which are inkjet/laserjet printer and laser printer. Number 6. Speakers and headphones are the audio output devices which are the hardware component of the computer system. These devices have an internal amplifier and are connected to a sound card in the system unit. Speakers convert electromagnetic waves into sound waves. The sound card is used to capture as well as playback recorded sound. Laptops come with integrated speakers. Speaker is the most commonly used component of the computer. Speakers take audio input from a computer or an audio receiver. The received input can be either in analog or digital form. Number 7. Motherboard, also called as central communications backbone of the computer system. Motherboard bonds the computer's components together at one spot and allows them to talk to each other. The motherboard is the foremost printed circuit board in a computer, and it is also known as the mainboard or logic board. Without motherboard, none of the computer parts, such as the CPU, GPU, or hard drive, could interact. To work well, functionality of motherboard is necessary for a computer. Number 8. Graphics card. Have you ever wondered how small pixels on your screen forms a whole set of image? Well, the working behind it is credited to a graphic card. A graphics card is a piece of computer hardware that produces the image you see on a monitor. Graphics card is responsible for rendering graphics in a computer and projecting information onto a screen. Graphic cards are also called video cards, is an expansion card which generates a feed of output images to a display device. Number 9. Power supply is a method to convert electricity and nearly eliminate ripple voltage. The power supply transfers the power from the outlet into usable power for many other components inside the computer. Usually, more power is needed to run more complex computer systems. The power supply starts with a transformer to reduce the voltage. The device then converts alternative current into direct current power. Then the DC power goes through a regulator that cleans it by reducing the ripple voltage. Number 10. Central Processing Unit, CPU. CPU, also called a central processor, main processor. The central processing unit is the most critical part of any digital computer system, generally composed of the main memory, control unit, and arithmetic logic unit. Central processing, commonly referred to as the brains of a computer. The CPU is responsible for executing a sequence of stored instructions called a program and for processing most of the computer's data, turning an input into an output. Number 11. Network card processor, also known as interface card, Ethernet card or network adapter. It is an expansion card which let the computer to connect to a network, for instance, the home network, or the internet by use of an Ethernet cable. Number 12. Storage devices can be further subcategorized into HDD and SDD. These devices stores either the system information or your personal data. Let's have a look into each of them. HDD, a hard disk drive or commonly known as HDD, is a non-volatile memory hardware device. By non-volatile, we mean that the data on HDD retains or is kept safe, even if there is a break in the power supply. An HDD stores OS files, application problems, media, and other documents. The HDD can store data permanently even in the event of a power failure. This is your permanent storage space, and HDD comes in many variations. SSD, a solid-state drive or commonly known as SSD, is a type of non-volatile storage device which stores persistent data on solid-state flash memory. Unlike an HDD, an SSD doesn't have any moving parts, so even though the name suggests that it is solid-state, it does not contain any physical disk. SSDs use flash-based memory, which is significantly faster than traditional mechanical hard disks. Flash memory is a solid-state chip that retains stored data without any external power source. Since they're non-mechanical, SSDs use less power, which means longer battery life when they're built into laptop computers. To put all the things into a nutshell, we can consider the hardware components as piano keys and software as music. The music won't play unless you press the keys or give input. The microchips and multiprocessors have evolved dynamically, and computer engineers and innovators are still making the machine fastest and smaller in size. So that was all for you who are watching and willing to learn the basics of computer. If you like this video, Make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And if you are a computer enthusiast, then hit the subscribe button and also turn on notification. Thank you so much for watching it until the next video. Goodbye.